Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. So, I'm going to talk some crazy shit today. My thought process is, and I know we can't, but my thought process is, why can't we all just be on the same time? Same time. It's 3 a.m. here where I'm at. It's 3 a.m. in the United States. It's 3 a.m. in Australia. It's 3 a.m. in China. It's 3 a.m. in Japan. Well, I don't know why we can't, but we can't. Something to do with the earth going around the sun. I'm not a scientist. I don't get it all. But it's like it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon where I am. But if I try to call my friends back in the United States and my family back in the United States, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in most of the places where they are. And you have to remember that. But if you think about it, if everybody's on the same time, so it's 1 p.m. here. If it's 1 p.m., I know it's 1 p.m. everywhere, right? I don't have to worry about what time it is. I just know, okay, 1 p.m. here, let's say, for example, here it's daylight during the regular hours that we're used to. From like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. it's daylight. But over in the United States, let's say, for example, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. it's dark. But I know at 1 p.m. here, I don't have to say, well, what time is it in California? What time is it in Utah? What time is it in Michigan? I know what time it is. I just know that if it's 1 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. there. No, not 1 a.m. It's 1 p.m. there, but it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting myself confused now. So 1 p.m. is 1 p.m. everywhere, right? Okay, 1 p.m. everywhere. But I know, okay, it's dark there, right? It's daylight here, so it's dark there. But, I mean, you can't remember that because every country is still going to have some daylight, some darkness, same time, different time, stuff like that. But if it's 1 p.m. here, it's 1 p.m. everywhere in the world, you know where you're from, or you know your friends and everything, you get used to it, you know what they work and stuff. If you're trying to get a hold of a business back in the United States, you go to call them because it's 1 p.m. here, and you go, oh, I can't call them. But if it's 1 p.m. everywhere, you can call them. So, okay, there's going to be certain areas of the world where you're what you would call your daytime hours right now. You're 1 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Your daytime hours would be your dark hours, and your 12 a.m. to see, I'm confusing myself. 1 minute after 12 a.m. is to 12 p.m. is daytime, or whatever. Midnight till okay. So, but this is say normal daytime hours. Some places are going to be dark, some places are going to be daylight. But if we're all on the same time, if I know it's 1 p.m. right now, it's 1 p.m. everywhere in the world. Normal business hours are during the daylight. So in some countries, it's going to be at night. It's going to be dark. It's not night, but it's going to be dark. It's still 1 p.m. there, but it's dark. It's 1 p.m. here, it's light. Doesn't matter. If I know my buddies work first shift, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., whatever the time is, okay, I look at okay, it's 1 p.m. They don't get out of work for a while. Right now, I got to figure out the time zone difference. I got to figure out the time zone difference in the states. States has, what, 3 or 4 different time zones? East, Central, West, and Mountain Time, 4. So you're trying to figure that out, all that out stuff. So some people are going to have to, normal business hours would be in the dark. Is that a big deal? I think you get used to it. I mean, everybody's like, well, yeah, but then we got to run our lights all the time and stuff like that. When you walk into a business during the daytime, All their lights are on anyway, right? You got to have lights on inside the buildings. All the lights are on anyway. So what difference does that make? That doesn't make a difference. Street lights are beyond though. I mean, but they're on all night anyway. What's the difference? So that's not changing nothing. I mean, there's more people awake during normal business hours. And if it's dark out where you're at, so what? With all the lights that everything has now and all the cameras that everything has now, I don't see it being a problem. So I'm kind of looking it up a little bit because I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert at anything at all. And I know I'm not the only person that's ever asked this and ever looked it up. So, but I looked it up. And it says here, the planet Earth cannot effectively run on a single time because it continuously rotates on its axis, causing different parts of the world to receive sunlight at different times. Time zones were created to synchronize daily human activity, such as at work and sleep, with the natural cycle of daylight and darkness. So what they're saying is daylight goes with work, darkness goes with sleep. What about the people that work second shift or the people that work third shift? And there's a lot of them these days. I mean, a lot more of them these days. So what about those guys? They should make more money then if they're working through more stressful hours and stuff, right? Instead of getting paid normal time, they should get paid twice, double time, because apparently they're working in a stressful darkness or something, which doesn't make sense because I mean, if you're out driving and stuff, it's more dangerous, I believe. But if you're working in a building, if you're working in an office, some sort of building stuff, you always got the lights on even during the daytime. If it's nighttime during your normal business hours, and if there's a third shift there all the time, yes, okay, the people in the main office are not always there. Not all the people in the main office. All the big wigs, as we say, are gone home. But if normal business hours and it's dark out, I don't see a problem, but I don't understand what the problem is with it. But this says the problem with the single time zone is if the entire world uses a single time zone like Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, the number on the clock would lose its connection to the sun's position. I don't understand. Mismatched routines. In some locations, people would be having breakfast at 9 a.m. Yes. While others on the opposite side of the planet would be going to bed or waking up in the middle of the night, yet their clocks would also say 9 a.m. Yes. Third shift people do it all the time. Swing shift people do it all the time. Military people do it all the time. Police, first responders do it all the time. Confusion over day and night. Universe meaning of noon, midday, when the sun is the highest, or midnight, middle of the night, would disappear, as those times would occur at different points in the solar day depending on one's geographic location. So what you're telling me is we would lose the words noon and midnight? Why? That don't make any sense neither. And what does it matter if we lose those words? But we wouldn't. Coordination issues? While international scheduling might seem similar on paper, people would still need to know the local solar time in different regions to determine if it was an appropriate time to call or hold a meeting. Well, if everybody's on the same time, it's 1 p.m., it's 1 p.m. It's normal working hours. Yes, that country is working when it's dark and sleeping when it's daylight out. But right now it's normal working hours all over the world. Think about that. I wouldn't get called at 2 o'clock in the morning here where I'm at from the United States because somebody's trying to sell me something. Well, let's see. If it was an appropriate time to call or hold a meeting, for example, a 3 p.m. meeting in London would still be in the middle of the night in Tokyo, requiring mental adjustment regardless of the clock's number. It's middle of the night. It's middle of the darkness. 3 p.m. would be 3 p.m. everywhere. It'd be daily work hours. Some countries are going to be in the dark during normal work hours, and some countries are not. Uh, you know, disruption of natural rhythms. Human biology is largely attuned to the sun's cycle, forcing people to operate on a clock time that is significantly out of sync with local daylight would cause widespread disruption to sleep patterns and daily life. Well, when I came over here to Southeast Asia, we're 12-hour difference from where I live. So you're telling me I should not have done that? We should never come over this way because it's our human biology is screwed up now. Your sleep habit is screwed up for a little bit. It's only screwed up because the working pattern, or normal working hours. If I left the United States at 3 p.m., landed here at 3 p.m. the next day, for example, just for an example, it's normal working hours when I left there, normal working hours when I landed here. So it took me 24 hours to get here, for example. I don't have to worry about changing my sleep habit. Yes, maybe it's daylight during normal hours there, and it's nighttime during normal business hours here. Other than that, the hours working hours would be the same, except for here they would work when it's dark out is normal business hours, and maybe in the States it's daylight. It says here why time zones exist. Historically, every town or city sets its clock based on the local solar time. Usually when the sun was highest in the sky, this was sufficient until the advent of rapid transportation, like railroads, which required standardized schedules across wide areas. This need led to the development of standard time zones, which divide the world into 24 segments, each roughly 15 degrees of longitude apart, corresponding to 1 hour of Earth's rotation. The system provides a balance, allowing for coordinated global activity while keeping local clock time roughly aligned with the sun's position. I get it. You scientists have got to go by all that. But I still don't understand why we can't have one time zone. So here's a place. The phenomenon of it being dark all the time occurs in locations within the polar circles during their respective winters, a period known as the polar night. Examples include places like Svalbard, Norway, which experiences about 3 months of darkness, and location on the continent of Antarctica. The polar night is a period when the sun remains below the horizon for more than 24 hours. It happens inside the Arctic and Antarctica circles due to the tilt of the Earth's axis. The length of the polar night varies depending on the latitude. The closer a place is to the pole, the longer the period of darkness. For example, Svalbard, Norway experiences around 3 months of darkness between mid-November and the end of January. Antarctica, places like the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, experience polar night from May 11th to July 31st. So what do they expect during the polar night? Sunlight does not reach the location because it is so far north or south and faces away from the sun. The only natural light comes from the moon, stars, and the aurora borealis, northern lights. Some areas may experience twilight, where there is still some light even if the sun is below the horizon. Many visitors are drawn to these areas to witness the unique beauty of the dark season, especially the northern lights. I've seen the northern lights. It's pretty cool. But, so there you have it. I mean, these people got to go through it for 3 months of all darkness all the time. What difference would it make if it's daylight at 3 p.m. or if it's dark at 3 p.m.? This makes a difference when it comes to money, right? When it comes to money. The thing is, it would be more convenient, but it wouldn't be more convenient. I think because of the time differences everywhere, it helps with the transfer of goods, for one thing. Since the United States is 12 hours behind us here, it gives them time to ship a ship that takes off from here to get to the United States. It sounds like it's getting there quicker than what it normally was. But it's also, like I said, it comes down to money. But wouldn't they make more money if normal business hours were at night? More light bulbs, more everything else, it seemed like. But I still don't, the only reason I said it comes down to money is because why doesn't it work? I understand all this scientific stuff with the sun. We're rotating around the sun. And we have to go to bed when it gets dark, and we have to get up when it gets daylight out. What about third shift and swing shift? So are you telling me those people are not smart or something, that they don't know what they're doing? Anybody that drove for a living has driven at night a lot. We drove a lot at night, what I did. So think about this. Let's say, just for an example, because I don't want to break it down to tiny little pieces, but just say for an example, half the world normal business hours is daylight. Half the world normal business hours is night. And all the world is on the same clock. Now, you could decide, you know what, I grew up here in Southeast Asia and it's dark during normal business hours. I want to go live in the United States where it's daylight during normal business hours. But everybody's on the same time zone, the same clock. I don't understand the problem. Because there are some people that are on, they have more stuff going on at night, business-wise, than they do during the day. There are some places like that. Let's get it. One time zone. Because I'm tired of putting it in my head going, I'm calling, where am I calling, what time is it, what country is it? And you think it stresses you out working at night? Try trying to figure out time zones and what countries and what time and stuff like that. You talk about having headaches and stuff. There you go. Let's get it done. 1 o'clock for everybody. That way they can't call you at 1 a.m. in the morning and say, hey, I'm calling about the warranty on your car. Because they know what time it is. If everybody's on the same clock, they know what time it is. Thanks for listening. Take care. We'll see you next time.